Video essay. Sequence analysis. Film Zero for Conduct. Thesis. In Jean Vigo's Zero for Conduct, the non-diegetic sound in the dormitory pillow fight sequence effectively conveys the voice shift from suppressed anxiety to rebellious liberation. The chaotic, undulating music at the beginning reflects their restlessness, while the transition to a majestic march-like theme mirrors their collective revolt and triumphant moment of freedom. Pillow fight scene explained. The pillow fight in Zero for Conduct is a strategic rebellion, not a spontaneous one. The scene is initiated by a student's impassioned speech about freedom, which rallies the other boys into a unified revolt. An adult supervisor attempts to intervene but is swiftly overwhelmed and defeated by the students, signifying their victory over institutional authority. The climax, with feathers flying and the school's property being destroyed, is seamlessly intercut with a student outside raising a black flag with a skull and crossbones, visually linking the indoor chaos to a larger organized movement for liberation. This all works together to show the shift in power. The props go from being symbols of confinement to tools of liberation. The once boring setting is transformed by the students' actions, and their blocking and performance on screen demonstrate their collective strength. It's a great example of how everything in a film, even the small details, can tell a big story about freedom and rebellion. Cinematography. The scene varying camera angles to reflect the changing power dynamic of the pillow fight scene. Initially, the use of high-angle shots positions the camera to look down on the students, mimicking the perspective of the authoritarian school staff and emphasizing the institutional control they seek to escape. As the rebellion erupts, the camera fluidly transitions to intimate close-ups, pulling the audience into the emotional core of the revolt and highlighting the defiant joy on the students' faces. The sequence culminates in a wide shot that captures the full-scale collective chaos, visually unifying the students' individual acts of destruction into a single triumphant moment of rebellion and liberation. The camera then settles at a neutral eye level, suggesting the new equilibrium where the students have claimed control. Mise-en-scene. In the film's mise-en-scene, props and costumes are used to highlight the school's oppressive nature, as the students' identical uniforms strip them of their individuality. But when they revolt, these same items like the pillows and feathers become a fun part of their rebellion. The setting is pretty bland and boring, which shows how dull the school is, but the white feathers filling the air make the space feel light and more free, as if the students made it that way. The actors' performances and where they are placed on screen shows how they go from being small, confined students to a big, unified group. In the end, this all works together to show the shift in power. The props go from being symbols of confinement to tools of liberation. The once boring setting is transformed by the students' actions, and their blocking and performance on screen demonstrate their collective strength. It's a great example of how everything in the film, even the small details, can tell a big story about freedom and rebellion. Sound. The sound in the pillow fight scene is super important because it helps show all the different emotions the boys are feeling. At the beginning, the music is kind of chaotic and all over the place, almost like it's a bit unsettling. This music, which is called non-diegetic sound, since the characters can't hear it, represents the boys' restlessness and anxiety before they finally decide to rebel. On top of that, you can hear them screaming and yelling as they start fighting, making the whole scene feel more real and out of control. It's like a big mix of a bunch of different sounds coming together at once. Then as the students start winning and marching in slow motion with the feathers everywhere, the music suddenly changes. It goes from being all jumbled to a really powerful march-like melody. This is a big deal because it shows that the boys are no longer just making a mess, they are now a unified group. The marching music makes their victory feel more triumphant and important, like they're in a parade celebrating their freedom. The sound really helps you feel that the boys are going through, what the boys are going through, and how they change from being anxious to being free and happy.